What's good, everybody? It's Corey back again. All right. And as you can see by the title, what the movie, not a movie, I mean, live is about. I'm tripping. I'm trying to pull some pad. Day. All right. Good, everybody. My front camera is not working, okay? But today, like I said in just a previous video, I'm going to be debunking the flat earth, okay? Now, my whole career is not about debunking the flat earth. My whole purpose on earth is not about debunking the. My purpose on earth is to spread truth and to figure out the truth and be real. Now, as I was saying, I'm gonna pick up where I left off. The real reason I left is my phone died. It was on 1% of charge, and I wasn't aware of that. But I'm gonna let y'all know. At the end of the day, what I'm saying about the flat Earth, I've been a flat earther, so it's not like I don't understand both sides of the coin. Okay. I want y'all to thoroughly understand that you don't usually come across people who have been a flat earther before and they end up back on the other side of the fence as a globe earther or just in the middle and figuring out which one it is, which is what I told y'all all through 2021 and 2022 is exactly what my work has to do with. Figuring out which one it is, okay? So, what I want to show y'all today, as far as my work right there, before I turn the camera back around to it, or talk to y'all about before I turn my camera back around, is the fact that when you have a mind like mine and you're not biased and you're not just trying to go based off of what's cool and what's hot, what everybody else is saying makes sense, that water is level and things like that, you have to have an open mind, okay? That's a fact. You need and you have to have an open mind in order to comprehend what it is that I'm showing you. Okay, so I'm gonna get straight to it because I know some people are nitpicky and they want to hear you not be long-winded. And I said this is under 10 minutes in the first place, okay? I just had to briefly let you know that you need to have an open mind and that I've been a flat earther myself, and so I understand and comprehend it. And that's why I made a genius way of putting both the flat earth and my work on this here, if you have the mind open enough to know that. All right, so let's go. So here, what you have is my own map that I'm making, okay? And I've already showed and broadcasted this briefly in the past, but this is called and merged with a Pierce quincunxial map, okay? Quincunxial projection map. That's what the original is, just like very much similar to the flat earth AE map, but it's just based on a square. Okay, and of course, flat earthers would say that's not real. All right, but this is basically a quincunxial map. Quincunx, basically, which is the root word of quincunxial, is basically dealing with the aspect of five, four corners, and a fifth point in the center. Quincunx, a queen. All right, cinco, if you understand that, that's the five cinco. So at the end of the day, what you see here is a map that rotates just like the flat earth. India right there, and coming back across the Pacific over here to North America, where you would be at. The thing is, and my main reason of why I created this map from the jump and get go is because I wanted to create a map in which, when you navigate it like we navigate with our maps, we use straight lines, north, east, south, and west. That's why I subscribed to this map, this form of the map at first. And I was, like I say, I'm in the middle, or was in the middle of figuring out which one it is from my own perspective, flat or globe. So with this, you could tell that if you zoomed in on this, the map, just like your GPS, when you zoom in and navigate anywhere, north is straight, south is down, the opposite perspective. East and west is always a straight line. It doesn't curve like it does on the AE map. On the AE map, east to west curves. It's a circle around. But on a compass, compasses are like this: north, east, south, and west, if y'all understand and comprehend that. So that's why with this fractal map, everything basically is going, it's all straight lines. If you zoomed in on this, there's a straight line from everything, okay? From every perspective. But to get to it, on a flat earth map, or flat earthers cosmology, You can see that within here. And that's why when I first told you and first started this video, I told you that has both the globe and the flat earth, antediluvian cosmology within it. You can see Hindu cosmology, all of that ancient flat earth cosmology, Nut and Geb, flat earth cosmology from a side perspective. If you're thinking one way, you can see that all here. Okay, Mayan cosmology, that's all here, okay, with the pyramids and all. But what y'all are failing to realize is that with ancient flat earth cosmology, y'all are saying that there's a dielectric inertial plane, which would, on that cosmology, if you look at this like that, it would be this 0 and 9 area. The dielectric inertial plane would be where you live, right? It would be right in this area, right in the middle. And all the stars would be rotating above that. So you would be living on this plane, all right? If you just focus on the that you see here. So what I'm letting y'all know is when it comes down to the cosmology, as far as it being a flat earth, y'all say that there's a dielectric inertial plane. When you look at fruit and we look at everything in the universe, even human bodies, there's nothing that cuts the human body straight through the middle sideways, horizontally. You don't see a perfect line like you see here that cuts things through the middle sideways, horizontally in any fruit, human being, or anything in this universe, okay? Period, point blank. A literal line that you make of symmetry. So what you do actually see is a line that's vertical, okay? A North Pole and a South Pole. You can cut something, of course, horizontally, but all fruit like pears and things like that, what I'm letting you know is that the pear is not the same at the top as it is on the bottom. The onion, of course, because it's globular, circular things, of course, you will be able to see a perfect circle is always going to be a perfect halving. But a human body, a head is not like the butt where the anus is at, okay? Your root chakra. It's not like your crown chakra. You don't see a mirroring going on there. What you see is a line being cut through the middle here of anything in this universe. You see a line of symmetry through a vertical line. That's what you see for fact in everything, whether a dog, a bird, even your houses almost usually are symmetrical, not always, but fruit, trees, everything in nature has a line down the middle, not a line down the middle vertical, not a line through the horizontal aspect of it. So when you look at these fruit, where's the dielectric inertial plane? Is what I'm asking you. Where's the dielectric inertial plane of a onion or a grapefruit or an apple, okay? Or a sweet potato? Where is the dielectric inertial plane for these? There is not. That's what I'm trying. Or a human being. That's something that's made. There's no line that cuts through the middle there. But what you do see is a line that cuts through the middle vertically through this. If you cut it halfway down, you'll get a mirroring aspect going on. You cut this halfway down, you'll get a mirroring aspect going on. You cut this halfway down, there's a north and south pole. There's a crown chakra in which the stem, you get things from the main tree, but it's globular. Everything in the correct cosmology, as far as fractal essence, is going to replicate the same geometry, and that's what a globe is. So the celestials actually would be like dots that are found on this right here, the stars, okay? They expand the universe because this right here could keep growing. That's why it starts off small and it grows and then it dies. Okay, that's what our universe really is a globe. It's a celestial globe, all right? But the earth inside of it is not a line. That's not what it is. It's a globe itself too. It has a north and south pole. It has an auroras at the top, which is borealis, and Australis at the bottom. And that's what you see right here is a globe. The equator, I was smart enough to and I know that this is over 10 minutes. I can change the title, of course, but under 20 minutes, that's perfect. So You do see the flat earth, like I told y'all. I was smart enough and found a clever way to put both because I was going to do a flat earth quincunxia map and then do a globular map as well. Put the globe in the background. So what you see here is the globe. Actually, when you circle this right here, this is the equator on the quincunxia map. On the AE map, even as well, this is the equator, the equatorial line. If you notice that, you see it? That's the equator. Pretty clever, right? But also, if you look at that, that's the globe from the top view. If you get right on top of the north, like basically the cut is shorter to be more precise. This is a globe, right? Let's say that this is the flat earth map, but we turn it into a globe. If you look right on top of a globe, directly on top of north, like this, let's say that this is a globe, you're going to see half of the globe. You understand? And when you see half of the globe, what's half of a globe? What's the halfway point between the north and the south? The equator. So that's what you see right there is the equator. The equator line is, of course, an imaginary line, but it, like they say, people will bring that up. But the fact is, there's always in between 2 points, there's always a halfway point, just like a halfway point is in between the 2 points I just created between my fingers. And no matter where I switch this up, there's going to be a perfect halfway point between any 2 points in the universe. That's something that's a constant. You can't change that. I could sit this right here and sit this right here. There's always, if you measure it, a perfect halfway point between this terminal point and this terminal point. As well over here. I can move it far away as I want to. There's always a halfway point in between two destinations, if y'all understand that. Just like there's a straight line always from point A to point B. And I know you've heard that before. So at the end of the day, you see the globe right here. Now, another thing that debunks the globe is the fact that you have the stars right here. And I put the celestials right here for a reason. This is the celestial equator. You have two hemispheres of stars. You have northern hemispheres of a northern hemisphere of stars or celestials, and you have a southern hemisphere. Well, the problem is with the flat Earth, when you have the northern hemisphere of stars, which ends at the equator, and you start to have if you were at the equator and you look towards the west or east, you would see that start to happen, a curving that way. If you understand what I'm saying, I could pull it up. If you're east, you're going to see like an hourglass type of thing going on. All right. Celestials. Equator star trails. I'm not here to BS, man. All right, see? So you got the stars that'll be going that way, which is the northern hemisphere. If you were right here, if you understand that, you zoom in South America or anywhere on the equator, you would be able to see that the stars are going for the northern hemisphere, and Polaris would be right here. And then over here, you would have, of course, South, which is right here. You're right here. And so you got the southern rotations going that way. So that would mean that this rotation would have to be another dome damn near. If you understand that, there would have to be some other dome down here, period. Because the same stars that are up here, you don't see the same stars reflecting. You got a southern cross down here and no southern pole down here. That's why y'all, as flat earthers, will say there's no southern star down there. That proves that there's no south pole, y'all will say. But you do see a southern pivot. It doesn't have to be a star. You don't have to have a polar star right in the center of the southern hemisphere. As far as the celestials, a southern star and a south pole are not the same thing. The star is not what generates the pole. It's the pole itself, the energy, the magnetism that creates the pole. When we're talking, what is the pole? It's a magnet. And we say that the earth is a magnet. So it's not the star that creates the pole in the first place. If you understand that. That's why you have auroras at the north and the south. So these circles, the circles is created right here. Somewhere up in here, you'll have the auroras. At the north, this is the top view of the globe up here. When you switch to the globe perspective from your flat earth way of viewing things to the globe would then have, and that's so dope that I could do, you would then have the auroras up here. Okay, if you understand that. The aurora borealis. Now, what earthers don't talk about, which Corey has been bringing out, and I've heard no other flat earther or globe they're bringing up in order to debunk the globe, is the southern lights, which is aurora australis. Flat earthers seem not to even know about it. For them to say that they know the globe so well, they seem not to even know about the aurora australis or the southern lights. That's why with my cosmology, you see this right here. See, this right here can then be flipped like that from the globe. If this is the north, you can flip this like this to the side, and now you're looking from the side. And you have the auroras up here and the auroras down here. All right. So this right here is called an octahedron. Let me pull up an octahedron for you. This is not a square. When you look at a pyramid, the pyramids they built all over the earth, all have squares, if you understand that. From the top, they're all squares, and they have a 45-degree angle aspect to them. All pyramids are, even Angkor Wat has a square aspect to it. Nazca Star, square aspect to it. And when you deal with this right here, a pyramid, what happens when you reflect it and put a pyramid on the bottom of it? You end up getting an octahedron. An octahedron, much like a globe, deals more with This is an octahedron right here. For y'all who don't know, this is what I'm talking about. So this is, if I covered that up, you can see that that's a pyramid right there, the white one. That's a pyramid. If you cut the first half off, the bottom half off, you end up with a pyramid. You cut the bottom half off of this one, you get a pyramid. That's what you see right there. If you simplified that, you will see this right here. It's just no steps for the pyramid. That's what you see right there. Now, I'm not saying that that's what's under there, okay? But I'm saying at the end of the day, when you deal with cosmology that's fractal, there's a reason they were building these like this. And it also has to conjunct with a globe. When you really look into things, it conjuncts with the globe. That's because when flat earthers are telling you the ancients were flat earthers, well, you have something going on out here, such as a psyop. And people can control and rewrite history. If y'all can learn that, they can rewrite history. So you have more things to learn. The best way to mislead somebody is tell somebody that something is tell them something is over there that way, and it isn't over there that way. It's really, the truth is right there in the first place. If you can understand that. So this is an octahedron. And I'm saying that this right here, this point right here, is this point that's right here at the front. And that 4.5 point is what's up there at the top of that. If you understand that. But when you rotate this, you can see the same from every perspective from up above. If you got on top of the 4.5 up here, you see the same geometry. There would be a 5 and a 4 behind this right here. And you would see the same geometry as you see with 0 and 9. It would be reflected. And so that would be a point, just like this is a point. And that would be 0 and 9 would be on the opposite side of this. Everything switches. It alternates. And so getting on top of that, you would see this right here. From right here, you see this right here. From the side, you'll see this right here. Just like a globe, when you rotate it, you can see the same thing from every cardinal direction. Up and down, side to side, all of that, your navigational directions in this cosmos. That's one thing that's constant. And anywhere you go in the universe, you always have an up and a down, a side to side, if you comprehend that. Now, what's never been spoke on is the diagonal, the 45-degree axis. And that's what this all has to deal with. Okay? So when it comes down to it, the celestials that's very much something that debunks the flat earth. You have to have a whole different, just like you say, a dome. If a dome is up here, or a pyramid, if you wanted to put it like that, you would have to have a dome that's down here. So there would be two domes. Well, how would you have a dome down here being seen, how would the dome reflect everywhere? For for everywhere in the southern past the equator. How would you be able to do that on a flat earth? Very hard to explain. So with 20 minutes of time, and I know I passed it a little bit, but I just wanted to explain this to you all. And these places that you see right here are different places across the earth that have to deal with my work, all right? This right here is the first pyramid in the Americas. Matter of fact, I'll just change the whole title. All right. I'll just change the whole title as far as the time. This pyramid right here is the Corral Pyramid. There are different, not just one pyramid, but a numerous amount of pyramids down in Corral. So down here, you have the oldest pyramid in the Americas, which is Corral Pyramids. This is the Nazca Estrella, or the Nazca Sun Star, which I've been showing y'all my work. If you pay attention to that right there, that's exactly how it is. I can pull it up over here too, the Nazca Estrella, so that you can know that that's not just drawn like that. That's the Nazca Estrella, my bad. And you know what they say that do you know what they say this is? They say that this is the ornament or plan of the Great Pyramid. Now they say that this right here, geomancy and things like that, has to deal, because that's what this looks like too. If you look up geomancy, this is the Nazca Estrella. That right there, when I first saw that, was just like that right there. If you see that, I mean, it's exact. I'll turn that so that you can then see. You see what I got going on there? It's the same exact thing. And that's out there in the ground. And there are 19 other stars. That's not the only one, but that's the only one that they talk about out here. There are 19 other stars or plans out there like that they have out there. So I'm not saying it, same thing that they're saying, that this is the Great Pyramid plan. But what I will let you know is that this right here is the plan. What I've drawn out is the plan for the Great Pyramids of America, which is up here, the pyramid for the future. This is the future that's going to be built. I know that y'all are saying, how do you know a pyramid is going to be built? Well, we're rediscovering the technology right now in modern day. And I was just a smart person and thought ahead in time and said, hey, how about, if I know that it's going to be built, or a possibility even, it would be smart and genius to create the plan for it. So I started saying that before I even created this and discovered this. So I started saying that in 2019, that I wanted to build a pyramid, be the person who's the architect of the next pyramid. Next thing I know, I make this discovery right after I'm saying that. And I promise to God, I'm not lying to you. I have no reason. What the original discovery was just based on numbers. There was no geometry included. It was just 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So what I drew out, I chose and picked the monuments that have the same count as my work. So you see 0, because you see this one right here in the mirror, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.5, the walkway, which would be this, a straight line, 4.5, 6. You have to count it correct. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Half of 9 is 4.5. All right. That point is the polaris that y'all talk about, but the decimal comes before the 0. The decimal travels everywhere, and that's pretty much what you are, a decimal. That's why you have a soul, okay, or an orb, like So when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, you also over here with Angkor Wat, the same thing. When you put my work, I'll go to my work over here too. I'm just showing and proving with this video. I don't mind being long. I have nothing but time with something like this. You're going to have nothing but time in life. This is Angkor Wat, and this is what I was showing y'all. Right there, corners, when you outline this right here, you get the same geometry if you pay attention to that. That's why I drew Angkor Wat. It's the same thing. So what does this all mean? And then down here, I got a new discovery with this that I'll be coming out and showing y'all too. But when you get on top of these pyramids, which they say you need to be in the air in order to understand and comprehend, and they also say that all of these different monuments seem to have a linkage or connection to each other as far as their ley line connectivity and everything like that. That's basically what I'm showing you here. That architecture, why didn't they create five-sided pyramids or variate the different sides of pyramids? Why do all of these different, and this isn't even all of them. You got different temples like the Modhera Sun Temple. Borobudur also has the same exact count of my work. It has the same numerical layout and everything. These are different things that I can show in like a part 2 or something. Like seriously, all of these different monuments deal with this one thing. And that's quite amazing to me. When you look at Teotihuacan from a high view, you also see the same type of thing going on with their architecture. Teotihuacan's satellite view. Let me pull that up. Just a second. And I learned this from nobody. And the proof is he made this discovery. You haven't seen this anywhere on the earth. And I made this discovery. I'm the first person teaching this, only person teaching this. And if anything, there'll be people such as History Channel and other people who teach this stuff after me. Dead and alive. It's just about how long. It's a matter of time. It's not if. If you want the right answers, this is right here. It's not cockiness. That's just, you see it right there. How can you really argue with it? I can't find it, the photo that I'm really looking for. Right. Well, this is the closest one I'm going to get. This one right here, if you can pay attention to this right here, there are, let me see. Is a better, yeah, right there. You see how this is like this right here? It's not perfectly like that right there as far as that geometry you see, but this computer board layout, it's the same type of thing going on there. All right. There's something called the Chicana, and that's a symbol that I'm going to be teaching more so in the future as well too. That's just as, if not more prevalent than the Christian cross that everybody knows of. This is the symbol as far as all of these different cultures. And when I say prevalent, I'm not saying as far as outdoes the Christian cross. I'm just saying that the geometry of it is something that's consistent with all of these ancient cultures that y'all talk about. That goes for Mayan cosmology, Hindu cosmology, every form and ancient culture that you can speak of, ancient empire that you can speak of and bring up. All of these different cultures that you see literally have the same geometry going on. And that's this right here. Something like the Chicana. Okay. Angkor Wat, even when you go to Angkor Wat, they literally have that symbol there. I can show it and prove it. They got this same symbol, the same, almost the same count. But the thing is, they don't ever have five-sided count. And the X in the center is the most important point. That's what the whole discovery. You think 4.5 is a discovery. It is. But this right here, what makes this very important is half of 2 is 1. 1 plus 1 equals 2. It's not just like that for nothing. It's like connecting an electrical circuit, a wire, tweezing the wires. And then you got 7 over here, and half of 7 is what? 3.5. This proves the essential essence of the fundamental essence of the decimal system. Because half of 7 is 3.5. 3 plus 5 is 8. So you got 8 and 8, which is also 16. 1 plus 6 equals 7. All right, so at the end of the day, and then you end up with a circle right here, a circuit that's connected because of connecting those 2 wires, like is that right there and that right there. It's like connecting those 2 wires like that to create magnetism and electricity. So you got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So that's a circuit that's right there. a circle. But what's the opposite of a circle is a square. But what I'm showing y'all as well is with the vortex-based mathematics, which is the same count system, but it's not the same geometry. With a circle, you can't do this. If you put a circle, replace everything here with a circle, you would still be creating a square formation. And with something that's fractal perfectly, that goes on infinitely, when you zoom in on those circles, they would end up being the bottom of that zoom. Okay? You start off with circles, you can't create a square. So you circle, 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 circle. It would basically, let me pull up the vortex math. Vortex math. With vortex math, you have this right here, the bottom half. You see it right here, 9, 0 and 9 equals 9. So that's right there at the center. And that's basically what that is right there. But what I'm showing is in between the numbers 0 and 1, you have an infinite amount of decimals. And negative and positive has to be accounted for. And that's what you see right here. In between 0 and 1, you have all numbers that could possibly be there. This right here is a big 0. Like that 0 right there is this right here. A 0. If this was 0, you have 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, and then 9. 9 is the 10th number. Okay. That's why 9 is really 10 or the line. But in between these right here, you can't do that with the vortex math. If you replace everything here, that's a square with a circle. In between 1 and 2, you only have, you can't put numbers there. Nature doesn't form this, but you have plenty crystals that are built off of a fractal geometry. You can't put numbers around circles in nature. God didn't put numbers, or the creator of the universe, if you don't want to call it God, put numbers around circles. You can't do that, like the sun itself. But as far as crystals, numbers that are here, you can take these numbers out, and the geometry that you have here, the fractal essence of it, is still found in nature. You have diamonds, which are literally built off of this same octahedron structure. And you can look that up yourself too. I don't want to do everything teaching off of this and, teaching everybody, but you can literally do that. So at the end of the day, diamonds, quartz crystals, when you're dealing with quartz, which is the number point or quarter quartz, this right here is literally the same thing as this, but he only accounted for positive numbers. There's no negative numbers there either. So it's a lot missing out with this. It's the same. The reason why it matters is because it's 360 degrees, and this goes into why there are 360 degrees in a circle. Before you answer why there are 360 degrees in a circle, you first have to comprehend why we count to the number 9 and stop counting at the number 9. And that's what this goes into. This answers why you have 360 degrees in a circle. That's why the stars are there too, because people will use that as an answer as far as that. Okay. With the 365 and 360 relation and, stuff like that. So God did not, and yes, it's not a belief I know of God. I know some people hear you say God, and I'm not talking about necessarily Jesus or the Christian God, whoever you want to say the name of God is. That's you. But I'm letting you know that this right here came from and proves that God is real, that a creator of the universe is real. See, God can create and destroy. So whenever people say a creator, that's only one half of what God can do. God can create and God can destroy. That's just a word, a pronoun for what the creator and destroyer of this universe is and can do. All right. So literally there you got 0, 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 0.5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 positive numbers. And then you got, of course, 1.0, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1. And it keeps on going for infinity. It's something that would never be broken. Can't be broken. Everything. It's the endless knot. This is what you see as, it's not the endless knot, but it's similar to the endless knot. Okay. This is similar to the first compass is made, and that's why you can use a compass in order to navigate with this. It's as far as making this map and merging it with Google Maps. First, this compass right here is one of the first things that I had explained when I first started teaching online. You have this 45-degree aspect going on here. You have a spoon, which looks like the number 9, which spins, spoon, spin, number 9. Okay, shaped like the number 9. That's, you know, you got the handle right here and you got a spoon. So it's the same thing going, and then that circle right there is literally the 0. So the 0 and 9 merge together there, and everything there as far as their mathematics that they had with that compass comes down to the number 9 too. So this is the first compass invented, but what won't is that it was magnetized to the south. That's what people don't talk about. You can look that up too. This compass originates in China, early Chinese compass. So, I mean, that's pretty much, y'all now know, if you didn't before, that there are pyramids that are going to be built here in America, and that's coming from Corey, Siobhan, me, okay? That's what this is. Everything here. This is the architectural blueprint. This is time itself. Every second that you can account for is like looking at a frozen stopwatch. This is time in itself. Nobody done this in history. That's the first pyramid that was made. Okay? If you know what my face looked like. All right? I can show you who the first architect was. Time does nothing but repeat itself. You see that right there? We kind of look alike, but you see what's right there? The first step pyramid. And that's what's right there. And when you look at this step pyramid, it's very much like that one that I'm going to build. Almost the same thing. And that's what this is. So when you keep on zooming in, you can see everything as far as the design layout of what the architectural blueprint of this pyramid is going to look like. And nobody else has done that. So this would be the door right here. Because like I said, what you're looking at right here, if I point right here or right here, you're also right here. Because this could be the number 0. And that's what it is, really. It's the number 0. And so I'm taking my face that you see here from a profile perspective and making it the clouds. So that right there is clouds. And that's the globe Earth right there that you see right there at the equator. Because like I said, you see flat Earth, this is something that's being used perfectly to debunk the flat Earth. All right? That's the honest to God truth. You can see, that's the cool thing about it. From a dualistic perspective, you can see the flat Earth in there and the globe Earth. So you can use this to understand why the Earth is a globe and see ancient cosmology at the same time. You can see the evolution of everything, but you can see the clear understanding and proof that you cannot work out a flat Earth with this. You have to have a full dome down here. East to west does not curve on any compass. All compasses, east to west is a straight line. All right. So I don't want to be redundant or too long-winded. I want this to be short enough for people to watch this and enjoy this. But I just wanted to let that be known, man. This is so cool. Yeah, buddy. Wow. It spins in every way possible. And then the software that I had showed y'all that I'm making, it can be merged with Google Maps, and it's going to be merged with Google Maps. Now, the thing is, it doesn't have to be Google Maps. It could also be Microsoft. Either way it goes, it's something that's going to take millions of dollars to create. And so therefore, I'm going to have to work with a billionaire. And so one of those billionaires is either going to have to be Google Maps CEO Sundar or Bill Gates. All right. So I'm letting that be known. I know how y'all feel about Bill Gates. I know. But hey, if we're trying to get our people to the next level, I can't even say, I'm just myself, man. That's all I can say. I know what I'm doing. And everybody else, I just know to stay to myself and keep on building the way that I'm doing. Because when you amalgamate with other people, that's where friction can start. You got to build by yourself in a lot of cases and time is what I've learned. I got a lot of wisdom to be young. So I know to pull away and build by myself and then come to people with my great building. That way I'm not building and dealing with somebody else and them be able to cause destruction, whether they're trying to or not, purposefully or not, destroy what it is I'm trying to build. So staying to yourself can really benefit. Now, my new discovery with this right here, if you wanted to see that, I could show you real quick. With the Great Pyramids right here, I said to myself that this would have to, if all of them have to deal with, everything here has to deal with this blueprint that I'm showing, or this discovery I'm showing. I said this has to in some kind of way. But I said everything here is at a 45-degree angle. And I said if you tilted this, every square here at a 45-degree angle to a regular up and down square, it would kind of look like the Sierpinski's carpet. And so I looked up the Sierpinski's carpet and I realized something about the Sierpinski's carpet. And that's basically what that looks like right there. So I'll pull that up real quick and then I'll be done. This is another discovery. I didn't discover the Sierpinski's carpet, of course, but this is another discovery in which nobody else is shown. That being, when you look at this right here, if you could pay attention, you see how the Great Pyramid has a middle pyramid, which is the great one. And then you have this small one right here. Well, if you cover this up and cover all of that up right there and cover that up and cover this up right here, you got a small pyramid right here. And actually, it's better because it's all fractal. This pyramid could then be looked at because it's a level higher that I need. Let me go to another one, such as this one. This pyramid right here is that small one right there. You see how they have a pyramid, a square that's right there in the center, and then one right there at the edge, and then it's offset. I said it's kind of like this one right here, and you have a small pyramid, one that's in the center, one that's near the edge, and then one that's offset. And you know that this looks like a computer board, like a computer chip. So that's the Great Pyramid, which is the center one. And then you have basically this going on. Check that out. And then check that out. One, two, three. And then the bigger pyramid, of course. And then you have another one where if you rotate it, of course, and everything here rotated, you have one, two, and three. If you just act like that one, which is just like almost the exact same size as that one right there, take that one, and you got one pyramid that'll be right there in the front, one right there, and one right there. Now, what is this all? I said that this right here could be all flipped, and I saw that that would be much like the Sierpinski's carpet right here. But the thing about it is, what's the link between the two? The number 9, creating a hole or a square. So you got the number 9 right here, and this all has to do with 0 through 9. And then you have this right here having the number 9. Everything here is really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then one whole, if you say one whole, what is one and a whole? One whole. You just went around one whole time. That's one whole, 1, 0, or 10. But you don't one. And why would you use 1 and 0 or 10? Why not start off with a 0? Because that's what you're using, and number 1 is already there. The number 10 is just a count for going around something one time. So you start off with zero correctly, or the square, which is what you have to have in the first place. That's why I say this really proves a square is the circle slash the zero. The circle and the zero is the same thing. All right. 360 degrees, 0 point energy, or zero. The number 9, 360, all of that has to deal with each other. All right. And that's really what all of this has to. I mean, you're dealing with some really intense stuff here if you really just look into what it is that I'm saying. But I'm going to let this one end there, and I will see y'all next time because I don't want this to be too long. I definitely don't want it 2 hours long, but I feel like 45 minutes is perfect. So at 45, I'll end this here. Till next time.